these podcasts.
So last week, I learned a valuable lesson. I learned to be careful what I wish for. Because in the previous episode we recorded, the very first episode of this budding podcast, I was talking about how we need to be making notes of things that happen in the news so we know what to discuss. And I think I even made a comment like, I hope some interesting news stories occur that we can talk about in the next episode. And I think literally the day after we recorded that podcast, the very next day, is when all these things came out that are now literally all the news is.
Yeah. It's sad.
So, and I don't, honestly, I don't even know where to begin on that, because I feel like there is so much to say about it that even if I really felt like I needed to make a comment on the show, I'm not sure where I would start. Actually, here's a good place to start. Have you seen the video? Like, did you actually watch the raw original recording that all this came from in the first place?
I believe I did.
You saw like the full video of him.
The kneeling one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very sad.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I feel like if any like news article or news report of the incident that came out like immediately, they all like had little descriptions of the incident. They had little summaries of the video describing how bad it was. And they were like little summaries of the video emphasizing how horrible it was. And when I actually went and saw the video myself, it's far more horrifying than they made it out to be. Like they excluded details that made the whole thing far worse.
Yeah.
Like the fact that something I didn't even notice when I was reading the articles initially was I didn't know that someone came by and flashed like a firefighter badge and basically ordered them to check his pulse, and they just completely ignored her.
That's very interesting.
The point when or the point when he lost consciousness and the bystanders started getting more upset. The guy who was like kneeling on his neck like pulled out, I didn't see what it was. I couldn't tell if it was like a gun or pepper spray or something, but he started threatening them. And that's where you could tell the guy's a real jerk. Because as he was doing that, as he was reaching down to pull I don't know, whatever he was getting, like you could see him like wobbling around. Like he was making sure that he wanted to stay on this guy's neck at all costs. And I think that is the most horrible part of that entire video.
It was very messed up. I don't wish that on anyone, seriously. I can't believe like anyone would do that. Like people do that to their own kids too.
So yeah, I feel like there's not a lot that I can say that hasn't already sort of been said and it's already being agreed on by most people already. Do you have any thoughts on it? Do you have any like insightful, inspirational statements to give on it, like you did in the last episode?
I mean, I do, but like, I don't know. It's a very touchy subject to talk about, you know. It's hard to talk about sensitive topics like that. But like seriously though, the system is very messed up, man. I just don't think it's okay to just sit around and say nothing and not fight for them and fight for everyone, really.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with the protests. I think it's very good that the protests are happening.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm not really a big fan of the fact that there are some people who are using the protests as an opportunity to just steal random crap from random stores.
Well, think about it like the Boston Tea Party. It's like that. That's how you get things done, really, right?
What do you mean?
That's what they did, basically. They took all the tea.
They destroyed it to make a statement, though. But I mean, like, I'm specifically talking about the viral videos going around of, like, looters going into like Target or Walmart and like stealing flat screen TVs and such to take home with them. I don't really respect those people. I respect most of the protesters. I definitely agree the protests should be happening, but I have a sneaking suspicion that some of those looters probably care more about themselves than the cause. So I'm not really in agreement with the mentality of those people specifically, but I do think that the protests in general are a good thing.
So here's what I gotta say. Like, I've been fighting for Black Lives Matter and black rights for years now, and I protest police brutality, and I always will. Here's what I gotta say to everyone else who's never been involved in that. Today, like, these next, like, month and a half, or I don't know how long, we are in history, and you don't want to be on the wrong side of these history books. That's all I gotta say.
I think that is I think that's a very smart outlook. I read like a little, I'm not sure exactly what it was. It was just kind of a quote that somebody posted where they were saying that this is basically history repeating itself. This is an especially egregious example of police brutality and racism. But it just really sucks that this is still happening, and it's been happening for a while. So I read something earlier that someone said, it was like a quote or something, saying that if people are anyone who is on the wrong side of history now, like, really has no excuse, because we have history and stuff like this happening, similar things happening in the past that already show how much of the wrong side of history that these cops and these people are on.
Yeah, for sure. It's
but I think part of the reason why this whole thing has been like part of the reason why this has been like churning around my mind a bit and making me a little bit uncomfortable is because I'm not sure how exactly we solve this whole police brutality issue. I've been trying to think of like what a solid solution to that would be, but I'm not coming up with much. Do you have any ideas on that? Do you have any wisdom on that as well?
Well, I mean, to be completely honest, we're just kids. There's no way we would fully understand it, but I do think that they should be trained differently and like go through a lot of different things and learn more, you know, and like not to target areas that are like more poor areas or anything like that.
I don't think understanding it is the issue. I think it's just solving it, trying to figure out how we can stop this.
Well, how are you going to solve it if you don't understand it?
I know. I'm saying we do understand it. It's not like the situation is that complicated. These are just people who become cops to abuse their power and use that power to give themselves that sense of authority. I think that aspect of it is pretty straightforward. But what I'm thinking is, how do we stop these kinds of power-hungry, authoritative jerks from being hired in the first place?
Well, it's not just about like one person that kills a black person. I'm not saying like all cops are bad or anything. I mean, that could be true, but like the system is messed up, man. Like, they target poor areas and like areas where like a lot of black people live and stuff, and like a black person will get convicted of the same crime as a white person like way more often. Like having marijuana or something, a black person would be convicted of that way more often.
I agree with that.
It's just not fair. Why should they be targeted for the color of their skin?
So, here's what's bugging me. Being a police officer, being on the force, that is an inherently dangerous job that comes with a lot of responsibility, and everyone knows it. So yeah. I can't help but so that kind of begs the question: what kind of person is going to want to go into that job in the first place, because most people wouldn't want to like put their lives in danger. They wouldn't want to risk orphaning their kids or leaving their kids with one less parent. I think most people would not be up for such a dangerous, horrible job. And I feel like, so when I ask myself the question of what kinds of people are going to be the ones that really want to get that job anyway, despite the risks, and I feel like that's probably part of the reason why so many of them seem to be these power-hungry, like bad people, because I think a lot of them get the job in the first place because they want to have that. They want to be entitled to that sense of authority. They want to be able to act out on their potentially racist views. And I'm not saying this is the case with all of them. I'm not saying this is the case with all of them. I'm just saying that because of what you said, because of the way the system is, I feel like I feel like the reason why why a lot, anyway, cops are bad cops, basically, is, I think, part of the way the system is because of, I guess, the way cops are hired in the first place. And that's why I'm a bit stuck on trying to think of what the solution to that could be.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know. I'm sure there are people that know the exact solution of what to do. I have no idea. I wish I knew. That would be really nice. I wish I could just snap my fingers and fix the world. But I saw this one post.
Well, I don't think that's a terribly hot take.
What do you mean?
You wish you could snap your fingers and fix the world? I feel like anyone would take up that opportunity.
I don't know. There might be some people that wouldn't, you know? So, but I did see...
What were you starting to say? You were starting to say you saw a video or something?
Yeah, I saw this post, and I was just like, wow, this is so crazy true. So it says, racism is so American that when you protest it, people think you are protesting America. What do you think about that?
Well, on the bright side, I think you are right that we're basically in history right now. I think that there is, considering the intensity of the protests and the riots right now, I think there is a pretty good chance that some legitimate, genuine change might come from all this. So I think there is a possible bright side here.
I hope so. I really do.
I will say one thing though, and I guess this might actually be somewhat of a hot take. But after doing a lot of research and doing a lot of reading into the whole situation, reading into the whole laws of murder, especially in Minnesota,
yeah,
I feel pretty confident in this assertion. I do not believe those police officers should be charged with first-degree murder. I don't think that is fitting for what actually happened. And even if it was, I think that would actually only hurt the chances of them being convicted anyway.
I don't really know what's the difference between first-degree or second-degree murder.
So the problem with this discussion is the fact that the definitions of each of the degrees of murder, especially third degree, that those definitions sort of vary quite a bit depending on the state.
Yeah. So
I was reading the versions I was reading the law in Minnesota specifically, since that's the only state that really matters here.
Okay.
And I think part of the reason why people were so angry about the cops being initially charged with third-degree murder is because in most states of the U.S., when you say third-degree murder, it kind of carries a sort of carries a connotation of it being like an honest accident, like an innocent mistake. like manslaughter basically, and
Yeah.
and I could see people getting upset about that. In
Yeah.
Minnesota, however, in the state of Minnesota, third-degree murder is defined in a much more a much more harsh way, where third-degree murder is defined in there as someone was doing something reckless, dangerous, unsafe. I think the specific wording that was used was they were acting in a way that showed a lack of concern for human life,
Yeah.
and it resulted in another person's death, but without them intending to kill them necessarily. I kind of disagree with that, because watching the video, I feel like that officer definitely was at least partially intending to kill him.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's basically what second degree murder is in Minnesota. It's basically the same sort of thing where the person was acting in a dangerous, cruel, unsafe manner, obviously not caring at all about the dangers of what he was doing, and
Yeah.
also he intended to kill him. And honestly, I think that description, based on what I know, I feel like that description kind of describes the whole event pretty well. Now, first degree murder is basically the same thing as second degree murder, with the difference being that in a first degree murder, the killing was premeditated, as in it was being planned from the very start. And you could even argue that in a premeditated murder, he was even planning to kill them before the whole situation even happened.
Yeah, that's kind of what that means.
I feel like the only way a first degree murder could really apply to the situation is if the very moment that Officer Chauvin saw him that day, like right when the officer saw George Floyd, immediately he was thinking, yes, I am going to kill that man. Like a premeditated murder, a first degree murder implies that like he was formulating this plan and trying to look for an opportunity to kill him and take him down from the beginning. And although there are weird news reports going around right now about how those two apparently might have actually known each other before all this happened, apparently with a first degree murder, the burden of proof is extremely high. So even if it really was a premeditated murder, it would be almost impossible to prove in this case due to the lack of evidence.
Yeah. It's tough, man. But I was wondering, like, so what if you kill someone to save someone else's life? Like, if someone had a gun up to someone's head and then you killed the dude with the gun, what kind of murder is that?
I feel like that. Well, I didn't look into that specifically, but in my mind, I feel like that might possibly fall under the category of sort of self-defense, except self-defense on behalf of another person.
Yeah, well,
I
should
don't
you
know
go
if
to
that's a
jail
thing.
for that, or though?
I don't know. Are you asking about like what would have happened if the bystanders like stopped the police officer?
No, I'm just asking, like, in general, like, if you save someone's life by killing someone else, should you go to jail for that?
Then I don't know. I would assume that there would be some leeway on that, but I don't know. I can't answer that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could look it up, but
No, what's your opinion on that? Do you think you should go to jail for saving someone's life?
I definitely do not. I don't see any.
I think, like, there's no way you could just, like, walk free, though. Like, you have to, like, go through something, you know?
I mean, I guess I could see someone making an argument that, oh, although you saved that person's life, technically, you could have saved their life anyway without killing that person. And honestly, even if someone does make that argument, I still don't really agree with that much. I don't know. I think in an ideal scenario, no one dies, obviously. But I don't. But that's a tricky question.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing it to save another person, like, justly, then I personally don't really have a problem with that.
Yeah, alright. Are you ready to move on from this?
I guess so. I don't really have much else to say on it.
Alright, well, if you do, just, we can talk about it more if you want. But I was just wondering, like...
Oh, well, actually, there was one thing that I wanted to say, and it's not really part of the. It's not really related to the incident itself, more like the aftermath.
Yeah.
So, I've been noticing that on the internet there seems to be this mentality that if you aren't like at least discussing the whole incident in some way, shape, or form, then you are automatically racist.
Well,
So just to explain what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Before you respond to that, I want to at least give a quick example, because someone I follow on Twitter, like a friend of mine, had only a few days after the initial incident happened, a few days after it made like worldwide news,
Yeah.
or at least national news. I don't actually know if it's worldwide, but a few days after all this happened, a friend of mine just simply made a post on their on one of their social medias that was just like a picture of the outdoors or something. It was like a nature picture or something, and the caption was like a comment about some generic thing about how their summer's going. It made no mention at all of the killing. It made no mention at all of the police brutality, and I don't think they mentioned it at all on their story prior to that. But that post that they had, it had like tons of replies to it from people saying that she needs to read the room, or that it's an inappropriate message because you have to be addressing the current state of affairs at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I really agree with that.
Well, I don't agree with that at all, because I think there's a lot of people that are just posting like, oh, Black Lives Matter, just because they want to be associated with something, or like they want to look like good people, but they've never fought for it before, you know?
Yeah. And my thinking is that there are already enough sources and enough outlets all over the internet to talk about it, but I don't think it's needed for every single person on their social medias to be doing it.
Well, I think our most powerful aspect of every person is their voice, and your voice deserves to be heard. But
Yeah.
in
But
rightful
unlike,
acts.
I definitely agree with that. I completely agree. But when I saw this post and I saw the way this girl was getting like bombarded for basically no reason, I mentioned it in one of the Discord servers I'm in, because they had like a politics channel, and I just mentioned the topic, and I would think it's a little bit odd that people have this mentality of, oh, you post about anything unrelated and you're a bad person, and I just kind of commented on that and how I kind of disagree with it, and someone in the chat like called me basically a racist, saying that if you are not talking about how you feel and what your outlook is in the situation, if you're not saying anything, then you're already putting yourself on a side, which again, I really don't agree with at all. Because if someone just doesn't have anything to add, then they shouldn't say anything, in my eyes.
Yeah, but there's strength in numbers. You gotta... I think the reason more people are like saying Black Lives Matter and like supporting it now is because they're maybe more educated, or maybe it's just because they're bored or something. I don't know. I don't really understand it. Maybe they just want attention, or they want to... I don't even know. It doesn't really make sense to me why so many like... I would say like teenage white girls are just randomly posting about it now, like, and they do the same thing with like nature too. Like all of a sudden they'll be like, oh, we need to save the earth and stuff, and then they don't do anything to save the earth, you know? Like, I don't get it. They're like following the leader.
I totally agree with the strength in numbers argument, but I don't think that really applies to the internet though, or at least I don't think it really applies to social media, because if we want to make a change, we have to advertise that change and protest that change to like actual people who work in the government, to people who will actually have the power to change the legislation. No governor or senator or congressman is going through teenagers' social media feeds, and when you make a Twitter post, those are people that are seeing it, your followers, your friends. And sometimes it might get tweeted around or go viral or something. But in most cases, that's not happening.
Well, here's the thing on that though. Like, we are the next generation of people, basically. So if we're not educated on this stuff, we're just gonna repeat everything.
I don't think I would be educating anyone if I just posted a black screen.
Well, yeah, that's not gonna educate everyone, but
Like that's another thing, actually. All right, it's a funny story about that. Earlier this week, on Tuesday night, I got a couple messages from different people saying, "Hey, Kevin, why didn't you post a black screen for Blackout Tuesday?" and I hadn't even checked out. Like Instagram at all that day. I had no idea this was even going on.
yeah.
When I got that message, I scrolled through my feed, and sure enough, everyone had posted black screens with like a hashtag or two, but saying effectively nothing. And I get that. I totally understand the mentality behind it. They want to demonstrate their solidarity, but who are they demonstrating it to? Their friends who already agree with them anyway? I don't think making a few posts on social media saying, "Hey everyone, here's a hot take. Police brutality is bad," is really going to convince any of their followers of anything.
Yeah, no, that won't do anything. Literally nothing. Ugh, I just burped. Yeah, I don't exactly. It's so hard to understand. I didn't post a black screen because I just thought that was irrelevant, but I did post something else. I posted a link to a website on how you can support the black community and people affected by police brutality, which I think is more helpful than a stupid black screen.
Yeah, that I think is better. I actually also retweeted a few posts like that. I think the kinds of posts and such that are actually like educating in some way are much more helpful than saying, "Hey everyone, I stand with black people. Well, thanks for coming to my TED Talk," or whatever.
Yeah, education is the most powerful thing in the world. A black
For
screen
sure.
is nothing. Possibly. I mean, it could be. It is something, kinda. It's kind of like the Day of Silence kind of thing. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I just don't really see it being that helpful.
It's definitely
don't-
not that helpful, but it has a little impact.
Sure, okay. I see the argument. Like I said, I get the mentality behind it. I just feel like affirmative, or I feel like action is much more. It's a better option anyway.
Yeah. It's so tough. I really don't like talking about this kind of stuff, but you really have to. I just, it makes me upset to like think about.
I mean, that kind of goes back to what I was saying before when I got into that little disagreement with someone. Because I kind of feel like you don't have to talk about anything, no matter how big of an event it is. If I don't have anything to add, if I have nothing insightful to say, then anything I do say, if it will be like forced, and it could come off as insincere or just white noise.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't really. I guess that's just me, but I personally don't like feeling. I don't like feeling as though I'm just full of hot air.
Well, yeah, definitely not. Alright, we should probably move on. We've been talking about this for 30 minutes.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to say on it.
Alright, so this is one of the hot takes I came up with. Nightmares. What do you think about that?
What was that? It sounded like you cut out again.
Nightmares.
Nightmares? What about them?
Tell me what nightmares you've been having.
Recently, none. Most of my dreams for the past few weeks have been mostly, I guess, dreamless. In general, though, I have a lot of kind of odd dreams. I don't know if that's unusual, but I imagine that you've been having a particularly gruesome nightmare lately that you want to talk about.
Yeah, you gotta hear this, okay? So you know that Avatar: The Last Airbender is on Netflix now, right?
Yeah, I watched through the whole thing. It's just as good as I remember it, if
Yeah,
not better.
dude, it is like one of the best shows ever. So I watched it in like maybe like 4 or 5 days. I just like that's all I did. But then like all of a sudden I started having this horrible nightmare, and I wake up so scared because like my life was
About
ruined.
Avatar?
Yeah, wait, dude. So I wake up, or no. In my nightmare, like I like wake up in my nightmare and look in a mirror, and my head is shaved bald, and I have an arrow on my head, like a real tattoo of an arrow on my head. And like I'm so scared, I'm just like, oh my god, I'm never gonna get a job. I'm never gonna be able to do anything with my life. Why would I do this? Why would I put an arrow on my head? And then I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, it's just so scary.
So wait a second. So you have a dream where you are the literal Avatar, destined to save the world, and your first thought is not, "Wow, I'm the Avatar. I'm gonna be famous and get all the chicks." Your instinct is, "Oh no, I'm never gonna get a career because of the tattoo."
Yeah, dude, it's scary. Like imagine, like if you had that arrow on your forehead, no one would ever hire you.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I think you're probably right about that.
I just keep having this same nightmare.
You've been having that. You've been having that repeatedly.
Like the past 3 days at least.
Wow. Okay. Well, you see, when you mention nightmares, I imagine they'd be more, I guess, horrifying.
What, like getting destroyed by like the hydraulic press or something?
All right. Who told you?
Your brother.
Why has my brother been? Okay. How has he told you about any of my other dreams?
No,
So I do have some memorable bad dreams, but
No, but he was just like, yeah, it was so funny. He was telling my dad about this nightmare he had about getting destroyed by the hydraulic press.
all right. I guess I will. I guess I can. For the sake of our viewers here, I guess I'll go into some detail. I can't believe my brother already spoiled the surprise because I was totally getting hyped up to tell you that. Whatever. So dear viewers, so ever since I was like extremely tiny, ever since I was a small little boy, and I still have it every once in a while, I have this very odd dream where I'm asleep in my dream, so it's like Inception, I guess, and my bed is like resting on the base of a massive hydraulic press that is somehow activated by my thoughts. So
Yeah.
if I wake up, I get crushed. So it's a really freaky dream because I know I am dreaming, and yet I believe the press is there. So so even though I know I'm dreaming, I'm too scared to wake up. So because of that, sometimes when I have the dream, it feels like the dream goes on for like literal days of me just not moving, staying completely still until I finally give in, I guess. It's one of the stranger of my recurring dreams because, like I said, that's the one that ends up like feeling as though it lasts a really long time because of me kind of forcing myself to not wake up.
Yeah. See, not everyone. See, you don't have. I guess that's kind of a normal nightmare. Mine was a little weird.
All right. Well, to be honest, I have no idea what kind of dreams most people have, so I honestly don't even know what is considered a normal dream or what is considered a normal nightmare.
I've had hundreds of dreams of me becoming like a Super Saiyan and like destroying like aliens and stuff.
Well, I can't say I've ever had that.
I've always wanted to just fly or do something cool.
I don't know why, but a common theme in my dreams is there is something wrong with me that will cause me to hurt others.
Yo, wait.
One recurring dream I have a lot is that, and by the way, I was having this dream long before the coronavirus pandemic happened. But one dream I used to have a lot is that I am a carrier of some sort of really fast acting, flesh eating, murderous, insta kill death disease sort of thing.
Like a zombie apocalypse.
And even though I'm immune to it, anyone who goes near me gets it and sort of melts alive.
Interesting. So we have a viewer. His name's Albino. He commented, "What if you tried to get off the hydraulic press?"
I guess it's like a sleep paralysis sort of thing. I have no idea. Don't ask me about my logic while I'm dreaming, because that will never work.
Well, now you're gonna have a dream where you get off of it.
See, maybe this is also normal. I assume this is also normal. But I feel like every time I have a dream again, in my mind, during the dream, it's like it's the first time I'm having it. So it wouldn't occur to me to say, hey, I'll just get off this time. Because you would be like, well, what is going on? This has never happened to me before. What the heck?
It's just so funny to me.
I feel like... So, I think, although those dreams sound bad, although the hydraulic press dream, for instance, I know that sounds kind of bad, I don't know if I would actually consider that a nightmare, because it's not like I'm truly horrified by it. It's more or less just, oh hey, I'm kind of scared at the moment, and then I wake up and it's all over. But I feel like the only dreams that I've ever had that are like that actually like genuinely disturb me are the ones that are abstract and that I sort of can't understand.
Yeah.
So here's a dream that I used to have a lot when I was really young, like 5 or 6 or 7. I used to have it a lot back in like elementary school and before that even, where I'm like on a stage or something, but I'm like backstage and it's dark and I'm trying to do something, but I can never figure out what it is. But because I know I need to do it, it really stresses me out. And I end up losing my head trying to accomplish whatever it is I'm doing. And by the end of the dream, I've usually failed in doing that task. And I know that sounds general and vague and not really specific, but I think that's part of what bothers me about it so much. I think that's part of what used to bother me about it so much, because it confused me, and that I guess that frightens me.
Yeah.
And also part of the dreams and also part of what made the dream uncomfortable for me was the uncertainty of it, because most of the time I had the dream, I know I would fail. I would not succeed in doing whatever it was I was doing. But every once in a while, very rarely, I would succeed in it. And I would be happy about it those days, even though I don't know what I did. But that uncertainty added like a level of tension to that recurring dream that only made me more dreadful of it.
It's so interesting, like nightmares, man. Like a lot of people have the same reoccurring nightmare of like falling off a building or something. Like I've had a dream of me falling off the building, but every single time I do, I either land or get caught by something. I've never like fallen to my death. I always like survive.
I don't think I've ever once had a dream. I've never once had a dream where I'm falling.
Well, I'm not necessarily falling. I'm just jumping off something. Like, I don't know. I guess I didn't like fall off. I jumped off.
And you get caught by nets sometimes. I like the fact that a lot of your dreams like make you sound like the protagonist in some kind of action movie.
I definitely
caught by falling nets miraculously, turning into a superhero, going Super Saiyan, saving the world.
I definitely have to say the dream with the Avatar is for sure a nightmare, because I wake up and I'm terrified.
Yeah, but that's the same sort of idea, though. You could be a hero, but for some reason you're choosing to be dreadful of it.
Well, I don't control my dreams, man.
Maybe it's like, maybe it's representative of just like the show Avatar, because he kind of hates the fact that he's the Avatar or something. I don't know.
Yeah, kinda. Alright, what about this, though? If you didn't have to sleep for your entire life, what would you do with that extra time?
I think I would just sort of use the time I get during the nights to record more YouTube videos and more of my audiobooks. Because
Yeah.
those are both things that I already do as often as I can, but I often find myself unable to have the time for it.
Yeah.
But if I had like extra hours of sleep every night, that's what I would be spending my nights doing. I would be able to get a lot more done at a much faster rate, and that would be, I think, most optimal for what I want.
Yeah, I think I would probably, I don't know, make some music or something. But yeah, I definitely like want to like record more YouTube videos of just like everything, you know, like showing what I do every day and just being like, yeah, let's have fun, or like just show fun stuff, you know. I don't know, like I have a lot of ideas of things like I want to do, and like I wouldn't want to just like not share that, you know.
Really? What sort of YouTube videos do you want to make?
Just I like vlogs, dude. I'm really into vlogs.
Really?
Kinda. It really depends. Like there are really bad vloggers out there, but I like if you know Casey Neistat, like he was a really good vlogger. Like he inspired me a lot.
Well, what were his videos like?
They were just like I don't know. You have to watch it. It's really hard to explain, but like he has very fast like camera switches, or I can't even think of the terminology of that. Like it's very fast paced.
Like he has good cinematography.
Yeah, he had very good cinematography, and like all the angles would change constantly. He would like film literally everything, and it was so fast paced and like great quality. And it kept me hooked and interested the whole time I was watching it.
See, now vlogging is one of the genres of YouTube that I never really understood, because I don't really understand why I should care about this guy's life. Like if I see a vlog, why should I care about this person's life? She's just talking about what she did in her day, but why should it matter to me? And that's always the thought that goes through my mind when I see these videos, because like, what's the point in making them? What does the author get out of them?
I don't really watch vlogs at all, actually, but I used to watch him, and he inspired me. But yeah, for the most part, they are kind of boring, because I don't really care. Like, I could be doing something else besides watching a 10-minute shortage of your entire day.
You give me an idea, though. I kind of want, now that you're bringing this up, I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to know if there are any, like, at least semi-popular bloggers around around our area or around my college, because I wonder if that means I might have shown up in one of them in the background. Ooh, that would be neat.
You know Tim the Tap Man?
What?
Tim the Tap Man.
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
He's a live streamer. He plays Fortnite and like Call of Duty and stuff. He lives in Syracuse, New York. He's got a couple. I think he's got a couple million subscribers.
Huh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Well, have you made vlogs?
I've made a couple, but I don't post anything.
Because I was gonna say, you said that you were inspired by this guy that you like.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, and I never saw any of your vlogs.
Yeah, I make a lot of vlogs, but then like after I finish them, I'm like, oh, this is stupid. Why did I make this? This isn't even good.
See, I kind of disagree with that, because although I already said that I think vlogs are kind of pointless, I feel like once you've already put in the effort to make it, then by that point you've got nothing to lose by posting it. Because hey, the more videos you get up, the more opportunities people have to find it, and the more videos you get up, that also means that the number of views you get increases, meaning there's more of a potential to make some dollars off of.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't really care about money that much. Like, it's definitely a little bit important, but I try to not care about it as much as I possibly can, because I don't want it to control me. It controls a lot of people.
Yeah, that's certainly true, but I feel like if you have a hobby and there's a way you could potentially make money off of it, and there's nothing that could hurt from making some money on the side, I guess, you know?
Yeah, that would be absolutely awesome if I could make money for making YouTube videos. Like, that would just be so amazing. Like, like all the bullies in high school would be like, "Oh my God, it's so unfair. I have to go to work every day, and Joey just makes stupid videos and makes money."
I remember you and I kind of tried that at some point. Not like money making, but I think you and I made some silly kind of vlog type videos.
Yeah, we definitely made a couple. That's so long ago.
I remember the video where you and I were like playing tetherball.
Oh, that was fun.
I don't remember any of the others though.
I think there was. Yeah, I don't remember. They're probably somewhere. Yeah, I definitely like. I feel motivated right now. I'm saying tomorrow I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna vlog tomorrow. That's what I gotta do. I gotta stay motivated.
You're really going to do that tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't know, but I want to.
Oh no, you gotta say it with more conviction, or else you really won't do it.
Yeah, that's true, but a lot of the time, like when I say things with more conviction, then I end up not doing it. And then when if I second guess myself, I'm more likely to do it.
To prove yourself wrong?
I don't know. It's just always been like that.
So whenever you really want to get something done, you purposely second guess yourself? You purposely act like you're not going to do it?
I mean, I don't purposely do it, but like, if I say, "Oh, I'm gonna run 6 miles," sometimes I'll be like, "Man, I really don't know if I can actually do this." I don't know.
Interesting.
I guess I really don't have a lot of confidence. I think that's what it comes down to.
You don't have a lot of confidence?
No, for the longest time, I really didn't even notice that I didn't have a lot of confidence, but I started to like recently figure out like how low my confidence really is. Once someone like pointed it out to me.
That surprises me, actually.
Why?
Well, I mean, I don't know. You've always struck me as like one of the most confident people I know, honestly.
Well, it's probably because I just do whatever I want.
Yeah, and I feel like that requires a level of confidence in yourself, to trust yourself to be able to just do things you want without like getting into trouble or hurting yourself in the long run for it.
I really don't think that takes confidence at all. I think it just takes like not caring at all. Like if I just don't care about something, I'll do it. That's kind of like how I work.
I feel like not caring goes hand in hand with confidence, because confidence is really just saying that you don't care how other people will see you for what you do, or you don't care how. Well, I guess it is a little bit different though if you're talking about like self-confidence.
Yeah, but I guess it does correspond a little bit though, quite a bit actually. Like I guess I'm very confident in some things.
If you were to make a vlog tomorrow, what would you want it to be about?
I don't exactly know, but it would just like, I guess my day. But like I'd make it interesting. Like I would like take cool camera shots and stuff. I've always been very interested in film and photography and like getting the perfect shot.
Would it make you more likely to get into the groove of posting vlogs if I were to help you?
I mean, if anyone helps you with anything, you'll obviously be more successful.
No, I mean like if I was in the vlog with you or something, if it was a collab vlog.
Yeah, I'm sure that'd be awesome.
Sweet. Well, I guess I could see what I'm doing tomorrow then.
Well, I already yeah, tomorrow's not gonna work out, but I already have plans with other people, and I'm going to my parents, or not my parents' house, my grandparents' house to watch a movie.
All right, never mind that then.
Nah, we could definitely set up a day though, and figure something out.
Sweet.
What was I gonna say? I had an idea in my head. Let me think for a second. Oh yeah. All right. What is something you love about yourself?
I mean, what's there not to love about me?
What is one specific thing?
Uh, um,
The whole world's listening, so.
I love my. I guess my work ethic. I feel like I have a good one of those. I know a lot of people. I know most people I know, and most people that I know personally anyway. When they go into like classes, not just classes, but like jobs in general or tasks that they need to do that they like have to do for one reason or another. They kind of most people I know kind of go into them sort of just doing like what they need to do, not necessarily like the bare minimum, but they just kind of go with the flow without doing much to prevent difficulties, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas if I know that I have a task coming up, or if I know that I have a class coming up, or a job I need to do, then I will take a lot of time ahead of time to learn as much as I possibly can about the subject, so that by the time I'm ready to apply that knowledge, I'm already experienced. With the knowledge. I already have a solid understanding of what I'm doing, and
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself for having that. I'm proud of myself for having that sort of work ethic, because I think it's helped me a lot in many cases.
I think, yeah, so my work ethic is kind of just like, if I just think that, like, oh, here, I'll use push ups for example. So, like, in my head, I'll be like, oh, I'll do 10 push ups, and then I'll be thinking, oh, wow, someone else definitely did more push ups than me, so that means I have to do more. I have to make sure I'm doing the most push ups so I can be the best. You can't.
So your work ethic is more like you just want to do whatever it takes to be better than someone else.
No, I don't think anyone should be working harder than I am. I think, like, I want to be the hardest worker. It's not about being the best. I just want to be I guess, the best at working hard.
I see. I see. I mean, yeah, that's sort of what I'm saying. Yeah. But is there something that you love yourself for much more?
I love myself for being perfect. There's nothing wrong with me.
So one specific thing.
Yeah, that's it. I'm absolutely
No, I
perfect.
should have said that.
Yeah. Probably my smile, though. I think I have a pretty nice smile. Maybe. I don't know. I have nice teeth. My teeth are really white.
I think it's important for everyone to recognize some things, some aspects about themselves that they appreciate about themselves, because because people need to appreciate themselves in some way in order for them to have the self-confidence they need to go about their day and go about their lives and tasks they need to accomplish. So I think that's a good question. Okay, I think it's important for people to love themselves in one way or another.
Yeah, so another thing that I really love about myself, I would have to say, is my uniqueness. I feel like there's a lot of people that have never met anyone like me. I feel like I'm one of a kind.
As someone who knows you, I wholeheartedly agree.
I feel like I change a lot of people's lives.
I think that's a very strong quality. I don't think I've ever like changed anyone's life. So that's a pretty good thing to say that you can say about yourself.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but a lot of people tell me that, like, I'm the most, like, one of the most interesting people they've ever met. Like, I'm just different from everyone else. And I'm just like, okay, I guess that's kind of cool. I'm just me.
Interesting.
Wow, my heart rate is 48. Interesting. I'm a very calm and collected person.
Has Albino or whatever said more things in the chat?
No, I think he's too scared.
What?
He's too scared to say something else, I bet. Here, I have another
Hold
thing.
on, I haven't actually seen this chat for myself.
He only commented one thing.
Oh, okay. Hydronic press. That's funny.
What's your favorite song lyric?
There are pretty much only a very small number of songs that come to mind because most songs, even songs I really like, most of the time I really can't stand the lyrics.
Yeah.
But I do really, 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 really love the lyrics in American Pie by Don McLean.
Yeah.
I think that is some of the best poetry I've ever heard in a song, ever.
I really like that song.
I think the lyrics of Rocky Mountain High by John Denver are pretty good lyrics too.
Yeah.
I can't think of too many other songs that I really like the lyrics in.
Yeah, it's kind of a... Yeah, I definitely have a bunch, but like it's kind of hard to just come up with them on the spot. But like one that I've always liked is "The sun don't shine in the shade," and "Bird can't fly in a cage." Like that's just always stood out to me.
So you're talking about specific lines of lyrics?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I really like the line, "Tomorrow may rain, so I'll follow the sun," which is a line from the song "I'll Follow the Sun" by the Beatles. I think that's a great line because it shows how no matter what troubles you're facing, as long as you stay positive and follow what makes you happy, then you'll always get through any storm or any dilemma, so to speak.
Yeah, that's a good song, by the way. I really like the message of it too.
What song?
The song you were just saying, what, Follow the Sun.
Oh, yeah. Alright, you were just cutting out for a second there, so I wasn't sure.
What impression do you think you give someone when you first meet them?
Oh, wow, this is the hottest man I've ever met.
Wow. Oh, God. I think a lot of people are just like, oh, this is some weird kid. And then, like...
No, I already know, actually. The answer seriously, I already know the answer to that question. Because literally every time I meet someone, every single time, without fail, one of the first things they say to me is something along the lines of, "Oh, wow, you have a deep voice, or you have a great voice for radio. You should be a radio podcast host. You should be reading bedtime stories to me when I fall asleep." People I meet always say some variation of that when they first meet me. So apparently, the first impression I give to people is I have a voice that is loud and low in pitch.
Yeah, you have a very nice voice, for sure. For me, it would probably be
What
like...
is the impression you give off?
I definitely think people, like, just see me and they're like, oh, wow, that's a D-bag. Like, he's just a jerk. I mean, it's definitely true. I'm not going to argue that because there's no argument. But, like, I don't know. I guess, like, most of my friends, like, definitely think I am, too. But, like, they just, like, know me and they think I'm awesome. Maybe. And, like, a lot of people think I'm pretty awesome, I'd like to think. I think...
Alright, you know what I think? I feel like you're very kind, very generous when when someone gets to know you. But I feel like if someone like doesn't know you well, or if someone's just meeting you, I feel like you give off a slightly, not very, but slightly, like a somewhat intimidating vibe, I guess.
It's because like my whole life I hate meeting new people. I've always hated meeting new people. I don't know why, but I always have.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason why.
Could be. I mean, it could be a million things.
I was just thinking that because I know that often you radiate, like, you have this like aura of, I guess, confidence around you, basically, and I feel like that sort of thing can be intimidating to people sometimes.
Really, I've never heard that. I didn't even know that. I think I'm just like a very calm, collected person who just is just relaxed. I feel like I'm like the most relaxed person ever.
And being relaxed can often, to another person, being relaxed can often look like confident.
You know, that's pretty true too. Wow. What are 3 words that best describe you?
Perfect, awesome, unstoppable, possibly immortal, godlike. Should I keep going?
Very interesting.
What did you say?
I said very interesting. The 3 words for me, as of right now, like of what I'm just
terrible, stupid.
Yeah, wow. No, I would have to say surprise, ready.
Surprise?
Yeah. You don't think there's always a surprise when people are around me?
You mean like because of your uniqueness?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I think unique is kind of a basic
that
word.
Makes sense.
And then for the last word, I would probably say, that's a tough one. I gotta think. I said ready and surprise. Ooh. Creative. Definitely creative. Can't believe I didn't think of that, though.
I see.
That's very uncreative of me not to think of that.
Well, I see that you brought a bunch of icebreaker questions basically to the table.
Yeah,
did you like
I wrote
bring
some
like
stuff
a
down.
list of like 100 of these questions?
No, like sometimes I'll just think, oh wow, this would be a cool question to ask. I just write it down.
All right. Well, I think we have somewhat of a good flow going, but maybe we should stop it there because if we keep going along this pattern, I feel like we might wear a listener out eventually.
Yeah. This is a good place to end too. We've been going for about an hour.
Yeah, I do have some topics that I want to kind of talk about in detail another time, but
you wrote them down, right?
I don't think they're worth going into now.
Did you write them down?
So I think now's a good time. Yeah, I have it written down.
Okay, that's
what
what
matters. I think now's a good place to end it, though.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.